Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Ageless, Blissings with Brenda Pierce. You've come to the right place for candid conversations, inspiration, and empowerment. Join me with my very special guests as we bring you media that matters on the Divas That Care Network. For more about the Divas and to listen to various podcasts, visit www.divasthatcare.com. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome to Ageless Blissings Radio. I'm Brenda Pierce, the empowered nurse, here to triage body, mind, and spirit with my incredible guests on this wonderful summer afternoon. I have my special guest today is Malinda Zarate. And a little bit about Malinda, and then we'll bring her right on so we can have an uninterrupted conversation on crystals, crystal healing, and what's new in Malinda's world. So Malinda is a wellness coach, transformation specialist, energy practitioner, and founder of the Emboldened Heart online global training academy. Malinda has developed an inspired, energetic approach that anyone can learn to use to create more health, wellness, wholeness, and happiness. After years of working long, stress-filled hours in the world of finance as an international consultant, Malinda experienced burnout and real health challenges. Desperately seeking answers, she immersed herself in learning about bold alternatives and soon discovered a life-changing energy approach which completely changed her life for the better. She now has an enormous passion and enthusiasm for her mission, inspiring others to use life-changing energy processes to transform health, emotional, financial, and relationship issues. The result is more health, more peace of mind, more happiness, and more abundance. Isn't that something that we all deserve, Malinda? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Brenda. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, we go back a few years. We've both been on each other's shows and podcasts and tell seminar series, and we've met in person, and I just love your energy, and I'm so happy that we were able to make this happen today.
Me too. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was thinking about that a little earlier. I think it's been maybe about 8 years since we originally met, and we've really kind of stayed in touch and been sharing our work with each other and the wider world ever since then. So thank you for that.
Oh, awesome, and thank you for your continued friendship and support and love. And what you bring to the world, Malinda, is something that everybody is looking for, that transformation into health, wellness, peace, success, and abundance. And you did it, through the sweat equity of going through stress and burnout. So I would wonder if you could just share a little bit about that journey and what Emboldened Heart has done to impact others' lives.
Yes, of course. Happy to. I did have some really pretty concerning health issues after a fairly lengthy career, which it caused me to have to work with people all over the world in different time zones. So I was busy with conference calls during the middle of the night and the wee hours of the morning, late at night. And that went on for many months, and I didn't realize the toll it was taking on my health and the increased stress. You just kind of power through when you're doing something, and, I was kind of in that mode, that superwoman mode that we sometimes get ourselves into. And, so I'd been kind of having that go on for many months, and I started first having insomnia, which was real unpleasant and exhausting, and then it kind of it continued on, and I ended up feeling shortness of breath and was just feeling kind of really out of sorts, and then went to the doctor, found out I had high blood pressure, and still kind of stubbornly insisted that I needed to keep up that schedule. And then within just a short period of time, within a few weeks, I had sciatica so bad I couldn't sit at my desk. So I kind of it was just like, a big stop sign went up in my world. and I had to really kind of revisit what had been going on and whether I was willing to make some changes. And I really have always been kind of alternative oriented because I am one of those people that really can't tolerate pharmaceutical drugs, and I have some allergies and some reactivities and things and sensitivities. So I didn't really want to take medication, and I knew I needed to do something. So I started really studying alternative approaches to health and wellness, and began practicing on myself. Basically, I was my own first client, my own guinea pig, if you will. And I saw some pretty amazing early results. And so it got my attention, and I kind of kept it up and really saw a big, big change, which also had to do with me making a decision to change, and then being willing to commit the time and the energy to make those changes. And it was not super difficult. It just required a commitment and the willingness to do it. None of it was real complicated. None of it took a great deal of time, as long as I did it. So I incorporated a number of different things into my routine, but then I was feeling so good. I knew I just had to share it and begin to learn and just kind of glean as much information as I could. So then I became trained in several different modalities that I still use regularly. EFT is one. I still use it all the time. I do tapping almost every time I teach a NIA dance fitness class. We do a segment on tapping because it's that important. We also do some Qigong, which is, movement of energy through the meridian pathways in your body. It's fun, it feels good, and it just makes a huge difference. And I've got some other things that I kind of, if I'm working with a group or a client one-on-one, there are some other things that I definitely bring into the mix. But I really do encourage everyone at whatever level they're at to consider doing some just self-care with some of these simple energy practices. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Malinda, is that people go around doing the same thing over and over again, stay in that hamster wheel, expecting and dreaming about a different outcome. But you have to change. You have to make that change and want to change in order to break through and receive those gifts, because otherwise it's just more and more of the same, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what I experienced and what I've seen so many of my friends and loved ones and clients experience is that once we make that decision and kind of begin to go down that different path toward wellness, it just begins to touch every area of our lives, and in really some wonderful and unexpected ways. And sometimes it causes a shakeup, and it did for me. I actually ended up making a decision to get a divorce and relocate, and I did, and thankfully my ex-husband and I, we were able to kind of agree that was the right thing to do. It was not a difficult separation, and we kind of both went our own ways, and it was time. But I also relocated from a place that I had lived for almost 25 years to a completely new area, which I love, and it's so fun because I live now really kind of on top of the largest quartz crystal bed in the world, which is in the Ouachita Mountains of western Arkansas, central western Arkansas. So that's been real fun, and it's been interesting for me too. I didn't know anyone here when I moved here. I knew nobody. I know, but it had what I wanted. It had a lot of trees. I live kind of in the forest now. Lots of trees, 4 seasons with real distinct change of seasons, lots of water, lakes, trails, pine trees, oak trees, just tons of nature, a quieter lifestyle without constant traffic and noise, which I had grown really sort of weary of where I had been living previously. So it was a big change, but it was almost like the universe just guided me. And it was fun for me to come here. I've always thought crystals were interesting, but I've never really been one to work with them and, do a lot of healing or hands-on stuff with crystals, even though I've always had them. I like them. It wasn't really an area I was interested in. But moving here, and becoming aware of all of the crystals, it was just so interesting. It was kind of like, wow, there's something about these crystals. And what I realized is the energy of the crystals was what I needed. That
yeah,
it was
it's like a battery, isn't it?
It really is. My yard is full of them. They pop up when it rains. It's so fun. And there are lakes that we swim in here where the bottoms are just covered with quartz crystal. So it's really it's fascinating, and it's a really high vibration place because of that. And now, one of the things I want to mention is that just because someone doesn't really particularly have an interest in crystals or an affinity for working with them, that doesn't mean they won't benefit from them. And that was certainly the case for me.
Wow. So when you chose your new location, did you know about the immensity of the crystal outcroppings that you were actually moving towards, or was it a pull?
No, I didn't really know. I kind of knew there were some crystal mines, and I kind of knew that, but it really wasn't anything that was the thing that drew me here. It was more the nature that I was really attracted by. And then after I moved here and realized the quantity of crystals that there are here, I thought, wow, that may be why I was particularly interested in that place, in that nature, because the crystals do affect everything. They affect the animals and the trees and the plants and the waters. They're all impacted by the vibration of the crystals. So it's just really, really fascinating and fun, very fun. So I've learned a lot more about crystals, and I have enormous respect for them as really, at this point, I'm understanding them as sentient beings that are here to help our planet and help all of us. And it is really interesting. I've noticed that when I set crystals in my garden, the plants grow better. If I put a crystal in some of the flower, the pots, things seem to just do better. And it's really fascinating. But where I really, really notice the difference is in the water. When we are in the water at the lakes, it's unlike any water I've ever been in before. It's soft
From what
and
I've
silky
seen, it looks
and
like it
clean.
actually has an effervescence or a beautiful blue color to it. That's very surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, there are a lot of lakes here, and all of them do have crystals in them, but there is one particular lake. It's the largest lake in the state of Arkansas. It's Lake Ouachita, which is a magic lake. It is just unbelievably cool. It's very wild. There are no homes that are built along the shoreline, so it's been kept really pristine, and it's just wild and beautiful. And there are over 100 islands in this giant lake, and you can see the crystals just laying all over the islands. It's just remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really something.
To put this into perspective, though, Malinda, people will go to see John of God in Machu Picchu and travel the treacherous trails to get up there, and a lot of people have expressed amazing experiences from being there, and yet we have this beautiful, beautiful, natural, pristine lake and beautiful natural area in Arkansas, which is closer to home and have the same kind of experiences, right? It's
absolutely
truly amazing.
Yeah, this is really what we're kind of being told is that this is a major energetic portal area now. And it's interesting, right after I moved here, Cryon and the Crystal Chorus came, and they toned into all of the crystal beds, which was really remarkable. And since that time, there's been even much more focus on this area. There's a channel by the name of Tiburon who is just very focused on the Arkansas crystal vortex, and a lot of people are starting to come here for that reason. And what I've been told by some wise and learned people and some visionaries is that this is really this is one of the most active energetic areas in the country right now, and that it's drawing people to it because of the frequency change. You know, it's being amped up more all the time.
Oh, amazing. So one of the things that, part of this discussion is the fact that people can actually come to Arkansas, be a part of an amazing retreat that you're hosting, and actually the invitation is out there for your second retreat now. And
actually, this one's the third. It's the third that I'm
my
doing.
Goodness. I know you've done it once, but twice. Oh, my goodness. That's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about what previous participants have experienced from coming to your retreat?
Yeah, it's a 3-day retreat that I hold right around the spring equinox and the autumn equinox. And I do that real specifically because those are kind of change points in our seasons, and the energies change for each of us individually as well during equinox periods. So it's a 3-day retreat that is held in a really beautiful mountain lodge style residence that is just all wood and beautiful and comfortable, with a fabulous big wood deck in the back, complete privacy. It's at the end of the road. There's a beautiful hot tub on the deck under the stars at night. It's just gorgeous. We do some really amazing things. We have some classes every day. We start the day with joyful movement, which is Nia and Qigong and Tai Chi, and do a moving meditation to start the day. And then we'll do a class. And this time, every retreat has a different focus. This time I was guided to really focus on sound and energy. So we use crystals. We go on a crystal gathering walk, and we work with crystals during the entire retreat. This time we're actually going to use sound along with our crystals. And I've gotten real fascinated with sound healing and vibrational therapy. And so I have a woman who specializes in that, and she's developed this amazing sound energy vibrational therapy method with using tuning forks that have crystals embedded in them. And so she's going to be there, and everyone will get a nice vibrational sound healing session every day with her using her fantastic tuning forks. And they're based on the solfeggio frequencies, which is super cool as well. So there's that. And then this time we're going to be working with voice and doing some work with our voice and how we can use our voice for our own healing and our own empowerment, and chanting and mantras. So that's kind of going to be the focus for the class activities, which are just a couple of hours, or an hour, hour and a half each day. But we also do some really fun activities. We, again, go on a crystal gathering walk and then swim in the lake where we gather the crystals. We also go to Hot Springs, the city of Hot Springs, and go to the thermal mineral baths, which are hot springs, and immerse ourselves in that healing thermal mineral water. And then we do a fun little stroll in the historic downtown area of Hot Springs, which is full of cool little shops and art galleries and cafes, and it's just super fun. It's really beautiful, and it's just charming and has incredible character. So we do that one day, and we also will be taking a pontoon boat ride out onto magnificent Lake Ouachita, and we'll actually be swimming in Lake Ouachita and immersing ourselves in that incredible crystal-infused water. So that's always a big highlight for everyone. And we also do a net of light gathering for the equinox, where we have the spirit grandmothers come and join us as we call in the help from the heavens, the celestial realms, for all of us. Sometimes we sing, sometimes we chant, we discuss and do a guided meditation, and it's always really beautiful and powerful. All meals are included, all activities are included, and I'm offering a special discount for your listeners who decide they want to join us. There's a discount available if they register and pay in full. They get the very best discount. But if they register with a deposit, they even get a discount as long as it's received by August 10th.
Okay, so August 10th. Wow. This is absolutely phenomenal. And you jam-pack this all in from September 21st to 23rd. And it just sounds like, everybody needs to really check this out, because if you really want change, right, in body, mind, and spirit, this is just definitely the immersion weekend for you. So, yes, Malinda's created a very special link just for the Ageless Blissing Tribe. And if you go to tinyurl.com/AB Crystal Retreat, you can go right to that, and it'll take you right to Malinda's special page for the Ageless Blissings Tribe. And you can really learn more, and you can actually connect with Malinda and get yourself registered, because this is a must-do, have-to. Unfortunately, I can't make it to this one, but I really, really, ever since you started talking about it and finding out about the beauty of the crystals there in Arkansas, and how it's like, when you think of the United States, and I'm up here in Canada, Arkansas is not like high on the Richter scale compared to, California and New York and all this sort of thing. So it's like a sleeper state. There's amazing reasons.
It is. It's a well-kept secret. Yeah, it's a well-kept secret. It's actually kind of right in the middle of the south central U.S., and it's really a beautiful area. It is kind of there's a lot of rural area, beautiful mountains, incredible scenery, amazing amounts of water here, lots of waterfalls in Arkansas, and beautiful hiking trails and bike trails. It's a really special place, and not a lot of people know about it. And I have mixed feelings about, making it really well known, because I do love kind of having it not be just teeming with people all the time. I'm told it's going to become like Sedona, which I kind of, I hope it doesn't happen quickly. But there's a lot that is really available for anyone here, and I make sure that we have just really healthy and nourishing vegetarian meals, and that it's just a really nurturing and loving environment. And I've just had great success and such a wonderful time before with such fantastic women that come. And I have been asked if I'm going to be doing it for men and women. And I think the next one, it will be set up so that anyone who would like to come can come. Women, I think we needed a period of kind of re-looking, rethinking, reorienting, reconnecting, but it's time for the men who want to be involved in these sorts of things. It's time for the doors to be open for them too.
Yes, the men, we've always talked about the wounded healers, and women have really emerged, but, men are broken and hurt as well, and have had to really change their outlook as well on terms of the relationships with women and power and that sort of thing. So it sounds like a wonderful opportunity for men and women to come together and heal and actually not live in duality or separateness, but really honor and respect the beautiful qualities that each of us can bring to the plate. And what a beautiful environment to do this in. And I wish you continued success and happiness with all that you do, Malinda, because it's,
Thank you.
From your own experiences, right? Like, there are so many people that have been out there in corporate America and have given their all and been burnt out. And really, it's making that change. I made a huge change, too, a few years back. And life has changed. It becomes peaceful. It becomes more heart-centered. It becomes beautiful. It becomes effortless. It becomes, painless, too, in many aspects as well when you make that heart-centered change. So as much as, the corporate world and the structured world has really put our toes to the fire, so to speak, and made us perform in certain ways, it's when we take back power that life changes, isn't it?
That's so true. Yeah, and I think that one of the things that unfortunately has happened with so many of us is that our kind of corporate treadmill period, it kind of somehow we disconnected from our soul. And there is something about that sort of 9-to-5 driving schedule that can feel a little soulless and can be very difficult. Not that all corporations are that way or all jobs are that way, but that's kind of been the way it has been for many. And so deciding to change and taking a different approach is the way we're going to change business too. Yeah. So that's, it's just kind of part of our pioneering work that we're doing.
Excellent. So again, to find out more about Malinda's Emboldened Heart community, go to www.emboldenedheart.com and, sign up for the newsletter and listen to the amazing guests that Malinda has, and also about the retreat, tinyurl.com/AB Crystal Retreat will get you more information about this amazing event. And Malinda, thank you for being a guest with me here today, and much abundance and much success to you always, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. I'm very grateful for the chance to be here with you. Thanks again.
Oh, you're welcome. And so with this, we end another podcast and look forward to more Ageless Blissings coming your way. Bye-bye for now.
You have been listening to Ageless Blissings with Brenda Pierce. The views and opinions have been those of the participants and are not to be taken as medical advice. For more Ageless Blissings, visit www.facebook.com/Ageless Blissings. Until next time, have a wonderful body, mind, and spirit-filled week.